So now we're doing TryHackMe Pre-Security Linux Fundamentals Part 3, Task 4, General or Useful Utilities. All right. So let's open up our show split view because we know we're going to need it. And I've already got this set up, so let's go. So downloading files with Wget, all right? So a pretty fundamental feature in computing is the ability to transfer files. True. For example, we may want to download a program, a script, or even a picture. I agree. Thankfully for us, there are multiple ways in which we can retrieve these files. So we're going to cover the use of Wget. This command allows us to download files from the web via HTTP, as if we were accessing the file in our browser. All right. So we simply need to provide the address of the resource. We simply need to provide the address of the resource that we wish to download. For example, if we wanted to download a file named myfile.txt onto our machines, assuming we know the web address to it, it would look something like this. So we would say wget, we'd have all this stuff here, and it would the file path would lead to myfile.txt. All right. So we'd be taking this wget. We'd be doing this wget on this website for this file. All right. So now we're transferring files from our host with a SCP in the secure shell. So secure copy, or SCP, is just that, a means of securely copying files. Unlike the regular copy command, this command allows us to transfer files between two computers using the SSH protocol to provide both authentication and encryption. Sounds convenient, right? Working on a model of source and destination, SCP allows us to copy files and directories from our current system to a remote system, and also copy files and directories from a remote system to our current system, provided that we know the usernames and passwords for a user on our current system and the user on the remote system. Okay. So for example, let's copy an example file from our machine to a remote machine, which has been neatly laid out in the table below. Okay. So we got the variables and the values, and this is going to be the IP address on the remote system. We've got the user on the remote system. We've got the name of the file on the local system, which is right here. And then the name of the file we're going to save it as right here, right? So with this info, we're going to craft our SCP command looking like this, remembering that the format of SCP is just source and destination, all right? So we've got SCP, important text, Ubuntu. Okay, so this isn't actually a return. This should be like right next to each other. It's just that, hold on. Let's do this. That's what it should look like right there, right? Anyway, so now let's reverse this layout let's reverse this and lay out the syntax for using SCP to copy a file from a remote computer that we're not logged into. So we've got the variable, the values just like we had before, and then the command is going to look like this, right? And it's going to be SCP with the, what is this stuff called? With the Ubuntu at the file path, and then what we're going to save it as. And as we can see here, it's all supposed to be right next to each other. If we had it further, we could see it perfectly. Or if we could extend further, you know what I mean. Let's see if we can. Hold on. Okay, just like that. There we go. For now, we got to go to the top. All right. So let's go back down, and there we go. So Ubuntu, serving files from our host on the web. So Ubuntu machines come prepackaged with Python 3, as we saw when we uploaded it, or when we downloaded what was it called? The virtual machine, and installed it on our computers, all right? Python helpfully provides a lightweight and easy to use module called HTTP server. This module turns our computer into a quick and easy web server that we can use to serve our own files. It's about to be September. Oh no, it is September. Anyway, where they can be downloaded by another by another computer using commands such as curl and wget. So this is C URL, probably copy URL. All right. So Python 3's HTTP server will serve the files in a directory where we run the command, but this can be changed by providing options that can be found within the manual pages. Okay. So yeah, there's manual pages for this Python 3 thing. All right. So simply, all we need to do is run Python 3 -m http.server, in the terminal to start the module. In the snippet below, we're going to be serving from a directory called web server, which has a single file named file, right? So we can see right here, we're doing Python 3 im and then HTTP server, and this is going to open up this program right here, all right? So now we use the wget command to download the file using this IP address and the name of the file. So remember, because the Python 3 server is running on port 8000, we're going to need to specify this within our wget command. For example, this right here. So yeah, we're going to have wget. We're going to have the, what is this? We're going to have the IP address, and then we're going to have a colon with 8000 next to it. And then we're going to do my file, right? So note, another thing is we're going to need to note that we're going to need to open a new terminal to use wget and leave the one that we have started the Python, leave the one that we have started the Python 3 web server in. Okay. This is because once we start the Python 3 web server, it will run in that terminal until we cancel it. So let's do that real quick just to show you. All right. So Python 3. All right. And then we're going to do -im, and then we'll say something else. I forgot already. HTTP server. Okay. HTTP.server. Enter. All right. So now this program's running, but we can't do anything right now. We can't do the wget because this is inside of a program. So we're going to do file over here. We do either open tab or open terminal. We'll do open tab on this one. Then we say wget, and we can put this stuff in there. All right. Copy that, throw it in with a Control-Shift-V, and we can see the file's not found because it doesn't exist, right? Because that's just an example. And we can see over here on our Python 3, it has a little log saying that this isn't found, blah, blah, blah. All right? So there's that. So let's take a look at the snippet below. So on theirs, it worked. So if it did work, this is what it would look like, all right? We have all this stuff. So this is on the wget, so it's over here. So we have all this stuff like it has it on ours, except for the date's different. And then also the fact that it connected and 200 okay. So connected, but we got a 404, and then it downloaded all this stuff, right? So that's how that works. So remember, we will need to run the wget command in another terminal while keeping the terminal that is running the Python 3 server active. An example of this on TryHackMe is below, right? So here's this. What they did was, instead of doing it this cool way, they did it this other cool way, which is open terminal, and then they dropped it down like thus. All right? So let's get rid of this like that. And let's clear this out also. Why not? Get out of this. And to get out of this, all we got to do is a Control C. Yeah, Control C, and then let's clear that out. There we go. Pardon me. So one flaw with this module is that we have no way of indexing. So we must know the exact name and location of the file we wish to use, okay? So we're going to have to like index earlier, and we're going to have to copy and paste and do whatever, notepads and whatever to get the files. And remember, we are on TryHackMe, so this is all hacking stuff. This is all prerequisites for hacking stuff. That's why we're learning it. This is why it's preferred to use Updog. What's Updog? It's this thing on GitHub, right? It's a more advanced yet lightweight web server. But for now, we're going to stick to using Python's HTTP server. Okay. So ensure we're connected to the deployed instance. We are. Complete. Awesome. Now use Python 3's HTTP server module to start a web server in the home directory of TryHackMe user on the deployed instance. So let's do it again by memory. Let's do Python 3 slash dash m http dot server. I like that. Awesome. Let's complete it. Boom. So now let's download the file, this thing, onto the TryHackMe attack box. And we're going to remember that we need to do this in a new terminal. And we're going to find the contents while we're at it. All right. So let's do this with the open terminal way and drag this down thusly. All right. And then we're going to do wget, and then let's grab this with a Control C, come over here, Control Shift V, because that's what you do for the terminal. Press enter, and look at that, it downloaded .flag.text1. All right, so if we come over here, we still can't use this, so we're gonna have to use that other terminal, which is right here. That's why this is one of the reasons why it was better to do it the other way. Because look at this, what a pain. Hold on, what a pain, right? What a pain. Let's do it one more time, but let's do it the tab way. All right, open tab, wget, Control Shift V. All right, and there's that, all right? So we can see it's got all this stuff right here, did it twice. And then if we do a, what is that, an ls, we can see it's not in here, but we can also see it's got a dot in front of it. So that means it's hidden. So let's do ls -a, and we can see we've got the flag.txt. We've already downloaded it 3 times. This one was from the, what's that thing called? The rehearsal. But regardless, we can say .flag .txt. No. We'll go to the front and say cat.flag.txt. Press enter, and we have thm wget web server. Come over here. We'll grab this, and we'll toss this into this. Submit it. And there we go. So create and download files to further apply our learning. What? Where are we going to download more files from? See how we can read the documentation on Python 3's HTTP server module. I guess we could like do it on our like, I don't know, Instagram or whatever. We could do it on our, I don't know, man. We could probably get clever with it and do it like, I don't know, wherever we could upload our own files on the internet and download them. But that's for a different video. What we're going to do right now is we're going to push Control C to get out of this, to get out of this. All right, let's clear this one out. Get this one and just say, see you later, alligator. Complete it and go on to the next one. All right. So now we're on to Task 5, Processes 101. And we'll see you next time.